Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am making a layout. It's a school layout that I'm going to be making using the Horizon collection from Pink Paisley, Paige Evans. And I'm going to be doing some backing. Now this is technically called cut file backing, but it's not a cut file. I wrote the letters myself and I'm cutting them out myself by hand, and then I am going to be, as you can see there, I'm just using my little craft knife to cut out the insides of my letters, and then I'm going to be backing them with some of the pattern paper from the collection. Now the first word I've obviously got there is book, and I'm going to do the same with the word day, because the photos that I'm documenting is of the kids' book day earlier this year. It was in March, I think, 2019. So yes, so I am just putting this out there. You'll probably see this photo or a variation of this photo again sometime soon, because I am scrapping 3 albums, one for each of my kids. So I'm going to be scrapping this photo another couple of times, just so that the other kids also have this photo in their albums. I might not put the photo up on YouTube, or might not use the video or make a video out of it and put it up on YouTube, but if I do, just, yeah, I know I'm using the same photo again and again. So as you can see there, I'm just going with my little eraser around the edges of those little words that I cut out, just to rub out all of the pencil marks that I've got going on there. Now, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do yet. I wrote those letters pretty big, and in hindsight, I probably should have scaled them down a little bit. Now, this is a piece of paper that I gutted from the rest of itself to use as a frame on another layout, and there you can see I broke the K a little bit when I was rubbing out vigorously with my eraser. But I do stick that down, and you don't even see it in the end, and everything is fine. There's a still in the end where I focus on the K, and you can see that there's something, but you know, it's not noticeable, so much so that you think that there's something wrong with the K or anything. So, and that's the thing, it's very easy to fix paper. It's very easy to fix a mistake when you do something like this. I decided that I was going to back all the letters with the same pattern paper, because it's a very this is a very colorful pattern paper. There's a specific pattern in it, and if I angle the letters differently or at an angle, then it looks very colorful and it's very happy. So these very busy pattern papers from Paige Evans is quite the perfect paper to back something like this with, or to back a cut file or anything like that. So this is a photo of Emma, and she went as a medieval princess who rides horses, and she's got a horse book, and one of the stories is of a medieval princess riding a horse. So that's what she went as for book day. And I've already picked out some of the elements that I wanted to use on this layout. I bought a couple of those ephemera, the floral packs from the Horizon collection, and I'm going to be using them just to scatter some flowers around the top right hand corner of my layout, just to balance out the bulk of the flowers at the bottom left hand corner of my layout. And I'm going to use these flowers and the sprigs just to frame the bottom of the photo. And yeah, so this layout is obviously going in Emma's school book, as the boys aren't in this photo. So yes, it was very easy putting this layout together. Obviously, using a collection, things go very quickly. All the colors work perfectly together because it's all figured out for you in any case. So if you are new to scrapbooking and you are not sure how to get started, I would highly suggest buying a specific collection and then starting with the collection. Don't go and buy random papers and random embellishments, and because I think, well, that's how I started back in the early 2000s, and back then you didn't have collections, you just had these random bits that you had to put together yourself. And today it's really easy with all of the collections that are coming out, and all of the themed collections and all of that. So this is very easy. This collection is actually a travel themed collection, but I am using it for a school layout. So you can see how versatile collections are. You don't have to be limited by what the collection was actually meant for. You can spice it up a bit and use it for something different, like I did here with the school layout. So I'm going to be taking that little globe that I'm fussy cutting now. It's from one of the pattern papers, and there's a load of these little globes on that pattern paper. And that little globe says life is a journey, and I thought that was quite sweet, pertaining to book day, as you know, every time you read a book you go on a journey. You have a little adventure in your head. So I thought that was quite nice. And I also like the green. The green of the globe balanced out all the green of the leaves that I had going there with the floral clusters that I was making there. So I decided I wanted to put all of those all of the letters on some foam squares. Now these are just some foam squares that I got back in South Africa years ago. I got a gazillion of them. So I'm not sure. I know scrapbook.com sells something similar. You can buy rolls of foam adhesive that you cut up yourself. You can buy some sticky back foam, some craft foam with a sticky back, and layer that behind the elements that you want to pop up. I'm just using these because I've got loads and loads of them on hand. So I've skipped forward. I didn't make you watch me stick down all of the letters up on foam squares, and I'm just now going to be placing my flowers down, and I'm sticking all of this down with some just plain wet glue. And some of these elements I'm going to be placing or sticking down on foam squares as well, just so that they pop up a little bit off the page as well, because I didn't want it to be too flat next to the popped up words book day. So yes, and I don't think I get it quite the way I got it at the first time. I didn't take a photo of this so that I could get it quite perfectly as I did the first time, but it turns out really pretty as well, so I'm very happy about that. Do you guys like backing cut files, or do you do like I did today, where you sort of make your own little handmade cut file, or do you stay away from cut files? And do you have a cut file machine? Do you have a Cricut, or do you have a Silhouette, or do you use dies? I've got a Cuttlebug that sits in my cupboard. I hardly ever use my Cuttlebug. When I made cards, I used to make cards for a craft market here in Dubai. I used to use my Cuttlebug quite a lot to emboss some paper. But I've stopped doing that. I've stopped embossing paper. I've got loads of embossing folders and I've just stopped. So I don't know. If I want to emboss something, I want to be able to emboss something 12 by 12. I think with scrapbooking, it's quite, the sizes vary quite a lot, but if you just make cards and it's on a smaller scale, then obviously the Cuttlebug and the Sizzix, I know you get a big shot, a big Sizzix, but I don't know, do you get a 12 by 12? I don't know, could be. So yes, so I'm just going to be sticking all of those little leaves everywhere, and I'm also using that little ephemera piece that says Adventure Awaits, and that was, see, I dropped it on the photo with the glue down. It didn't make any issues in the end. I just wiped the glue off there. So I've stopped using my ATG gun altogether. I've run out of adhesive for it. I've run out of tape. So I'm just using my wet glue. I think wet glue is the best. It's the cheapest, it works the best, and yeah. So these little hearts are just from a craft shop here in Dubai, or from a stationery shop rather here in Dubai, that I get most of my little embellishments from. These are perfect. It looks like they should have actually been part of the Horizon collection. They are the perfect addition to this collection, really, and I've been using them a lot on my layouts lately. They're very thin, papery stickers, so you've got to be very careful in taking them off. But anyway, so I felt that the letters didn't stand up as much as I wanted them to stand out, even with the craft foam or the foam adhesive at the back. It did create a little bit of a shadow and some interest, but I wanted them to stand up a little bit more. So I just created these little faux stitching lines with a black pen, and I go all around all of the letters until I get to the Y. It didn't take long, maybe like 2 minutes or so for me to do all of this, and there you can see it a lot better. They stand out a lot more, and I did consider taking them off and stitching them, but then I didn't have the time that day to do any stitching. I've been quite pressed with time lately, so once I sit down and do a layout, I need to finish the layout. I can't come back to it later on. I get sidetracked, and then I lose what I wanted to do in the beginning and all of that. So I've been trying to start a layout and finish a layout in one go. And that is about it for this layout. I do add some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, just splatters there in the corners with all the embellishments, in my little embellishment cluster corners. That is it. If you like what you see, please give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And please leave a comment. Remember to tell me if you like cut files and what you do with them. And if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and become a part of the Scrappy community. See you soon. Bye.